Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. What the hell?
I'm gonna quote a song. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Woo! Second to last episode. Depressing as hell.
This it never changes. This does not feel like the second to last episode of a series.
We'll get to that later, but first, the synopsis of episode 25, The Ending World. The Human Instrumentality Project begins, merging the souls of mankind into a single entity. Shinji, Rei, Misato, and Asuka struggle with their reasons for existence. Shinji discovers that he has created a solitary existence for himself, a world in which he alone can exist. I joked with these two in our group chat earlier that this review might as well be a mini episode of the mental health checkup because damn.
It's the existential Law and Order courtroom section.
Let's see.
Evangelion.
We have the cases of Shinji, validation / love. Rei wants to die. Asuka, independence. Misato, daddy issues.
Yep.
And a good metric unit of loneliness in every single one of them.
Yep. And rehashed animation with new dialogue. It worked. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just... Wasn't this show meant for kids? I don't think kids want to have an existential crisis at the age of whatever this was supposed to be watched at.
I think it was until Anno got really upset with a kid at a grocery store or something, and he's just like, that kid bitches to his parents too much. I think I'm going to make the rest of the show like that.
I feel so bad for these characters, man. Like, this world and these characters and this new, what is it called? Instrumentality Project?
Human Instrumentality Project.
We're combining all the souls together.
Why would you have multiple people with heaping helpings of depression when you could have just one big one?
Now, here's a question. First of all, why? Like, what is the end game?
You'll see. I'm not gonna say it.
Well,
we're so close.
I can't even say anything without possibly ruining something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's the shitty part.
Because, well, the reason I ask is because, to my knowledge, like, as of having not seen the finale yet or the movies, Kaoru, or whatever his name is the last angel. So yeah, this might be one of the short episodes.
No more angels. Nothing.
I've said this since this show started. I legitimately don't know what you're even going to be thinking when the credits roll on that next episode.
The only thing I can even think of, like, how I'll react to the finale is questioning the reason why End of Evangelion exists.
You're going to be questioning a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, not much to say about this episode. It's just them just trying to reason out why they're there, doing all that stuff, and then coming to realization that they're all just messed up.
To put it bluntly, they're all fucking depressed and need therapists.
Yeah, but the problem is the person who would give them that therapist is Gendo Akari, and he threw mental health out the window when he was 10.
No. Yeah, it was way gone even before he stuck a fetus to his hand. So
yeah, don't forget about that.
And a little bit of ode to joy, and then they're just like, "Why did you kill him? He was an angel. We would have all just died. Why did you kill him?"
My favorite part about all this is that they have the fragment of Misato speaking to Shinji, and they're like, Shinji, only the people with the will to survive are the ones who should still be alive. I'm like, you are telling that to Shinji Ikari.
So she's lying then.
Yeah.
Either she's lying or she has no idea what the hell she's talking about.
That never gets old to me. I always like, really? You couldn't have just said, no, he's an angel, he's the enemy. He didn't have the will to survive, Shinji. You do. The character who's been shown for 20 some odd episodes wanting to have his life end because he hates everyone and everyone hates him. You, sir, you're the one that has the will to survive. Oh, wait, I'm not talking to Simone Jiha. I'm sorry. I'm talking to Shinji Ikari.
This is like telling a depressed person not to be depressed.
That is the definition of what it is. And this is coming from a person who suffers from dysthymia, which is now labeled as persistent depressive disorder because no one knew what dysthymia meant. Everyone that watches this or ever has a person who is legitimately having depression, you might as well be handing them a gun when you say, hey, can you just not be depressed for a little bit?
Hey,
Never do that.
I would love to. That's the first thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's like telling a music artist to work. Like, why don't you just work with the biggest producers in the world?
Why don't you just make your music how I want you to? Why don't you just do that? Right? Why don't you just fix the problems you're having? Like, God, what's wrong with you?
We've gone from a show that was humanoid, fleshy robots fighting symbolic, extraterrestrial-looking angels to this. I want to know what happened. I want to know the turning point so that Anno just walked into the production room and said, hey, new direction. What?
Remember when...
But Anno, the series is almost over. So, new direction.
I don't care. I could pack 15 episodes worth of shit into one episode. You watch me. I'll do it. I'll do it 7 episodes in a row.
But what about the kids?
Remember when the show was about them just being really upset that Shinji got to live with the hot girl that worked at Nerve?
That left after, like...
Oh, okay.
Almost, yeah.
Got it.
Left the building. Oh, gosh.
And the only reason we're making so many jokes is because if we didn't, A, this video would be like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And B, we like escaping from our demons, not being like hit on the head with them 24/7.
Outside of talking about the Instrumentality Project, this is literally just a recap of exactly how screwed up and the mental issues every character has that we're well aware of.
No, it's repetitive. It'd be repetitive to go over everything we've already gone through.
Yeah. I can't think of another show that had a recap episode on the second to last episode.
I remember that like Bondi Saban era TMNT show that they churned out and failed.
Oh,
Next Generation.
Yeah, Next Mutation.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
With Venus de Milo.
Yeah, no, that thing had two recap episodes in a 26 episode series. So
you don't do that.
You don't do that unless the show is just borked.
You don't do that, or unless in certain shows cases that reset the clock. I've mentioned Gurren twice in this episode. It was just too, let's say, pervy for main audiences, and they turn another episode into a recap episode.
And at least with Gurren's recap episode, not that one, but the episode 16, at least like the consolation prize was some cool behind the scenes artwork.
Yeah. I would be very happy if they did that and not just showed me a picture of parents hanging.
Oh God, they actually showed it. I didn't expect that. Yeah, because that's what a kid wants to see.
Yeah, and it's like, why won't you just die with me, Asuka? Why won't you just die with me? I don't think I repeated that enough in the other episode where it was mentioned. I thought you guys might forget that.
And then Ray struggling to be like, yeah, why do I exist? And then creepy face Ray shows up. Distorted face Ray shows up.
Crackhead Ray? Yeah, that one.
I collect all 5.
I genuinely jumped when I saw that. I'm like, whoa.
Oh.
Jeez. Yeah,
it's like, hey, what happened to Ritsuko and Masato?
Okay, are they dead? They look dead. They look shot.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, hey, when all of a sudden they're like, this is what happened to everybody else. Hey, Otto, should we show them what happened? Sure. Show some really inconspicuous things that look like they got shot down in the place where they kept Lilith. Kid show.
Yeah, show. I mean, it was fine. I don't have really strong feelings about this episode. It's just, let's just shovel down that trauma. That's what the show's doing. Just pat it down with the shovel. I don't think it's packed yet. No.
We're over the 10-minute mark, which is what I wanted to get to because my God, there's nothing else to talk about. So Mike, go ahead.
So there are a couple of videos that I want to recommend for people to watch that are kind of about this show. One is by the Cartoon Cypher called I think it was like a symphony's or an orchestra's reaction to Neon Genesis, and it's the thumbnail is Shinji in the chair in the void, and then the other video is Gurren Lagann and Getting It.
That video's amazing,
right? Those are the two videos that like I would highly recommend because they're actually very good video essays critiquing everything that's about both of these shows.
Yeah. Alrighty, I will. Just not the best time for me to watch this kind of episode. So.
Oh yeah, we won't talk about what happened, but some real world stuff happened today, and it's.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention. I've been dealing with some stuff even way before that. Whatever happened today. So.
All week I've had a week.
Yeah, I got a little bit better yesterday. It was work related stuff. It was just like, man. Yeah, I was very happy to be like, we're gonna be done. I still do like this show as a whole, but man, I am excited to watch that trilogy of films because I have not touched them. So I just want to know what got changed and what got refocused on. Because I saw an accidental spoiler clip like when the second one came out. No. It's not a big deal. It's just
still
I know it sucks, but I know someone gets an eye patch. That's about all I can say.
Oh no,
I know where you're going with that, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah,
I just want to know what are the two main Evangelion films before this? Death True equals Square, and then the end of Evangelion. Yeah. I just want to see what happens because they keep talking. I have nothing to say because it's like they mention about the mass-produced Avas. We don't see anything. So what's this last episode going to be? Are they just like, oh, we did not pace this out well. Just shove it in. No.
Yeah. This series has one of the just weirdest ending notes ever. I've described it to a friend of mine who did not care about spoilers, but really badly wanted to see the show. I'm like, I'm going to explain the very last scene of the show to you, and you know what the show's about. I want you to think before we watch the full series in a day, which is what he wants to do.
Oh.
I wouldn't recommend that, honestly.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I want you to explain to me before we get there how you think it got to that place.
Oh, God.
He hasn't responded to me in over a week about that question.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
His just response was, what?
It's that Skeletor. It's that He-Man Skeletor meme. What?
Huh? Hey, but yeah, so alrighty. Before we get to the end of this Holy Balls, it's been the main part of this Holy Balls, it's been a journey. Cameron, where can everybody find you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm on Twitter at twitter.com/CamsEyeView. I have my own website called camseyeview.biz where I review animated shows and films called The Other Side of Animation. I am the co-host of the Renegade Animation podcast for renegadepopculture.com. I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. That's where you can find me, and hopefully nowhere near Evangelion in the future.
Mike, where can they find you?
So you guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. You can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser. Give us a review there. You can listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found on renegadepopculture.com. Need escape? So do we.
We're almost there.
I want an escape now.
You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, and every now and then on the Renegade Pop Culture podcast. Also, before we leave, everyone, please remember.
Just if you can get help, do.
Please. We will see you all for the finale. Good luck.